Hello, everybody. I've never done live before, so this will be new. I just want to talk about scraping. And I didn't plan to scrape today. I'm not even dressed in my work clothes. It's storming here in Michigan. But this is, how can I do this? Uh, so here's those big camelbacks I'm working on. And I wasn't planning on working on these today, but it's still light right here in the middle. And I'll probably scrape one pass on this one. This one here is not, it's not, it's low on this end. And it's touching, it's got a low place right here, then it's hitting on the end. But what I want to talk about is, you know, have your own experience. Somebody's going to say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to make longer strokes or shorten your stroke up or whatever. Have your own experience. I've had a lot of mentors in my life, one of them being Art Lemire. And that guy, I would have worked for nothing. He was my boss at Casper Machine Company. And he was the owner. And he was out on the floor working until he was 80 years old, 84, I think. Still running that grinder right there that I ended up getting. And that's the one that got my finger. But the thing is, you know, get out there and do it. That's what I want to say. Get out there and do it and scrape. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to grab a hand scraper and or a power scraper and you know start scraping and learn for yourself. That's what I've done. I took one of Rich's classes, but I scraped for a company called Gosker where I replaced slides, and I did it all by hand because I didn't like power scrapers. So once I bought a power scraper, I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue. I was against power scrapers, but you can take off a lot more. But have your own experience. There's people gonna say, "Oh, you're doing this wrong. You're doing that wrong." What works for me probably isn't gonna work for you. So um, it's just doing it, getting out there. I've got turn this around if I can. Like I said, I don't know how to do live. I scraped this one and that's probably, I would say, oh, there we go, 40 points per square inch, and I did that power scraping. Um, and this here, I could probably use longer strokes on it. They're half inch to 5/8 of an inch. I'd rather adjust the speed than the stroke, and I use another thing I do that's probably different from most is, well, I use Sandvik carbide inserts. So you got 8 cutting edges on each one of those. But I I I stone hard. I use this. I don't even know where I got this stone. Probably at an auction. It's pretty. It's medium probably, but it's a softer stone. And I spray it down every pass because my goal is to take material off as quick as I can. And what you want to see is, I stopped scraping on this one right here, and you'll see that the blue has came in from the last pass, and here too. My last scrape was right here, and I got blue coming in here. So you want every pass, you want to see that more blue, places where you haven't scraped. And but those ones I had in an earlier video came in boxes um, from Bush. They got their own boxes. All of these are projects, scraping projects. So, and the thing I tell people, Steve Barton has a good video on grinding V blocks. If you can scrape or grind a V block to where you take this one for example, you can, I put this on a table and you take this V block. Yeah, it's pretty simple to get these two surfaces parallel and these two surfaces parallel, but to get this 45 degrees to this and 90 degrees to this and 90 degree here, a perfect 90. If you can scrape or grind a V block to where the geometry is perfect, you can rebuild any machine. I mean, scraping. If you can scrape a V block, a pair of them would be harder even yet to get them to match. But that's what's fun about it, you know. And don't be intimidated, you know. Just get out and do it. So this is first time I ever went live. I can show you my projects. I've got, this is the project. That's a Moore jig grinder. And I haven't touched that because I've been doing spindle rebuilds and turret rebuilds. And this is my old Okamoto 12 by 24. This is how I sharpen my carbide blades. And some camelbacks hanging up here. These are dovetails for doing lathes. Different parallels. And more camelbacks I gotta scrape. The guy doesn't want me to say his name. He's a good friend of mine. He's a famous author. he he does a lot of work for in a lot of articles for Practical Machinists, and I'm not gonna mention his name. Here's my dirty lathe. Oh no! I left a key in the chuck. I hate that. This is my old Bridgeport. Another Clausing lathe. A mess. And a cool little shaper. That's a Delta Rockwell shaper. This is my neighbor's toolbox. He passed away and I got his toolbox. He was a cool old guy. Like I said, I've had many mentors in my life. And, you know, I give credit where credit's due. I wouldn't be where I'm at today if people didn't help me out and show me. And so, if you ever need anything, reach out. You know, if you need to borrow a tool, I've got all kinds of alignment tools. I don't mind loaning them out. And, you know, just have fun. That's the main thing. And be kind to one another, you know. I'd rather work for a company and show somebody how to do something and teach them than, it's not about the money. It's not about the money for rebuilding the lathe or lining up a turret. I love when they give me a guide where I can teach them how to do it. So, all right, my first live feed. And I got 3 people watching. All right, guys, that's it. I don't know how to end it. I guess click the X. Have a great day. Beautiful Sunday.